morning, guys. Why in the world would I ever implant myself into the busiest portion of traffic that we cover in Central Florida? Because of you guys. That's why. Because of you guys. You can only pay me to do this, whether I'm in a black and tan patrol car back in the day or hanging out with you guys inside Results One. That's what's happening on this President's Day, this Monday, February 17th at currently 10:02 in the morning. So I hope those jams put you in a decent mood, because I'm hoping this traffic does not mess up my vibe this morning. I'm here at I-4 and US 27 when I thought maybe it would not be that bad. Maybe, you know, I could hope, I could pray a little bit. We could dance to the traffic gods, but that's not the case. Because let me show you what we're looking at right now. This is eastbound I-4 right now at US 27. Mile marker, exit number 55. And what we're going to do this morning is drive it. Why not? And I don't think we're going to get much done. To me, this is funny just because we talk about this every day. And every day I tell you guys, just increase your following distance here. Give each other some space. Have some common courtesy, because there's nothing you can do to make this go by any faster. So we're going to drive out into it. We're going to talk about some new things that are happening out in this area. And maybe by the end of our stream, make it to the Champions Gate portion of this. And that's my goal, is to show you the stretch of I-4 between US 27 and Champions Gate. Short gap of travel, however long-winded. Lot of commuters through this area, high tourism, majorly commuted between here and the Tampa area, and then you mix construction, right? Construction slows everything down. But I do talk about this intersection quite often, and I felt this interchange, so I felt it was necessary that we come out here and we do this. So we are going to do this morning. So truck is in drive. I'm going to wait for some space, and we're going to attempt to just get in and see if someone will be kind enough to let us into the traffic out here this morning. So yeah, let's do it. Good thing is it's 62 degrees. If you've been keeping up, Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos, if you woke up this morning, she made it very clear. It is chilly outside. Over the weekend, it was really hot. It was beautiful. A lot of events, but for the most part, it got really chilly outside. So we're going to slowly attempt to get into traffic out here, see if someone's going to let us in this morning. If not, it's all good. And we made our way in. We appreciate that common courtesy of that driver back there letting us in this morning. But this is where we're at. Eastbound I-4, baby. And we've been sitting here now. Our stream started a solid 5 minutes, about 4 minutes ago. And this is what drivers have to deal with all sorts of the hours of the day. Now, if you're driving out here during nighttime hours, probably overnight, you're good to go. However, right in this area overnight, we do see some heavy construction. And that's something I did want to talk about. So many people, Steve this, Steve that. When are they doing this? When are they doing that? Well, I always like for it to be like big breaking news. I don't like just to give it to you guys, because then no one hears it. But when it's big and breaking and we're launching it on different platforms, I get to talk to you guys a little bit about what's going on. And out in this area, we are under a full expansion, finally. So we're going to be getting another travel lane eastbound and another travel lane westbound out here on the main line. When I'm talking main line, I'm talking your main travel lanes here. So instead of 3 eastbound, we're going to get a 4th one. And then, we're getting express lanes, y'all. So they're going to, originally, when the project first came out, it was called the Western Tube. But I think they went away from that. Kind of sounds weird, and it wasn't a tube. So we are going to get the extension of express lanes. So if you've already been using the ones in Orlando, you'll be able to continuously use those all the way out here and push you out on 27. So what do the express lanes do? The express lanes generally, they separate certain drivers from general traffic. So if you know you're going from one exit to another, or you're out by the attractions or whatever, and the express lanes allow you to completely bypass that, you're getting rid of unnecessary traffic flow by taking drivers who don't even want to commute by you, but are going out and about just to bypass it, and you're giving them separate lanes. It's helped out tremendously in downtown. I'm a big supporter of the express lanes. I use them all the time. Just think about it here. So if they provided an exit here for Champion, say, let's talk about US 192, right? Then this would allow anybody who's not going to Champion's Gate to completely bypass this traffic. Meaning, it doesn't mean it won't be dense. It just means, hey, we're going to get out and let you get through it. But right now, we're moving at a whopping 6 miles an hour in a 65 mile an hour zone. I'm telling you the speed for a reason, not just out of sarcasm, but out of pure information. You should not be following vehicles so closely. And this guy next to us here, he's on his phone and whatever he's doing in the passenger seat, which is fine because he's all nervous that we're the police. But you should have your seatbelt on. Even at slow speeds like this, you shouldn't be worried about you impacting somebody. What about someone impacting the back of your vehicle? This morning we had a fatal crash. Someone doing everything right lost their life for somebody who was driving carelessly. Sitting at the light, sitting there, hit from the rear at a high rate of speed, boom, transported and killed. You could be doing all the right things, but someone's going to mess up. So that's why you have to make sure you're doing everything you can to make sure you're setting yourself up for success. And I say that because I keep, even at this speed, a very good distance at a vehicle in front of me. Because what happens if they suddenly stop, they suddenly brake or whatnot? I need to be ready to react and space if I need to pull off left or right. Why would I not fly out into the far right here? Because I'm not a clown. And that lane is ultimately going to end. There are signs indicating that the merge, it's going to go away. So you don't want to be that driver. I am waiting for that one driver back here to pull on out. Okay, so there we go. The truck that's passing us right now, that Toyota truck, 3, 2, 1, right here, that's going to be our clown right there. So that guy pulled all the way out simply to merge into the traffic, get stuck into the traffic, and then push in. Improper passing on the right. You are contributing to the problem more than being part of it. You can't really solve it other than keeping your butt right where it's supposed to be. But flying out into traffic like that, I keep looking back, looking for another one. That is improper passing on the right. You can land yourself a $166 ticket here in Polk County for something like that. Gosh, that ticks me off. So then we have these guys. We can only assume that that's where you want to go, but you don't put a turning signal on. What are we just, and then you just put your nose out there. So now one of those Chrysler Pacificas, minivans up front, push their way in front of this semi-truck. I understand we've got to merge, but how's that guy supposed to know what you want to do when you have no turning signal on? So indicating, even in traffic, is required. Because now look, that entire left lane is slowed down because that driver didn't want to move with the merge. So all of these people, to include right here on my right, let's see if I can get some of this traffic here, are all like now slowed down because of that driver. We're going to do our best here to get out of this lane because this is stuff I do. Obviously, there's 2 right lanes here getting ready to merge over. One's going to slowly end, and the other one's going to slowly end. Where are they going? They're going into my lane. So if I have the opportunity to create some space, I'm going to create some space and get out of Dodge, y'all. I don't want to be involved in any of this. I don't want to be close to any of these drivers. And we're just going to cruise. I'm not going to pull out in front of a semi-truck. It's just not what I do. So we're just going to hang out here and just flow. There's no rush, all right? Even if I swerve over real fast or I'm trying to beat traffic, there is absolutely no rush. This guy being super nice this morning. Thank you, thank you. We appreciate kindness. Kindness goes a long way. So we're going to try to get over here to the far left lane. And everyone, look at that, outside semi-trucks here, nice and smooth. So now, we are in the far left travel lane. Well, Steve, the left lane's only for passing. Yes, it is only for passing. But when all the lanes are bogged down and they're filled up, guess what? You go where you can fit. And at this point, traffic is flowing bumper to bumper, and this is where we fit. So this is where we're going to start to see, I call it lane dodgers. Watch this. There's a lane dodger right there. See how, like, they don't even give any warning. They just put their turning signal on and they cut over for space. It's what I call a lane dodger. They're just jumping all over the place this morning. That causes road rage, guys. That will piss off another driver in a heartbeat. Because one, now they're slamming their brakes. They got coffee all over the place. And then they take it personal. That's why I say, don't ever take this traffic stuff personal, because these clowns out here are just going to do whatever they want anyway. So, how do you prevent a lane dodger? Here's a little tidbit. You can predict a lane dodger. You can start to watch the centered travel lanes, and they will slow down according with the gap. So, what do? You put the phone down, all your distractions, both hands on the wheel, and you maintain good space between you and the vehicle in front of you, but not to leave enough space for lane dodgers, for these folks that are going to just come in and take a slide at the base. And then what am I doing? I'm not looking at this Toyota Camry in front of me. I'm looking at the Honda Accord or the Jeep in front of it, because that allows me to place my brakes, apply my brakes in a way that's not slamming. I'm just moving with traffic. But it also prevents those lane dodgers next to me thinking, oh, that's a good enough space. No, it's not a good enough space, and I need you to keep yourself in your travel lane. It's that simple. When you lane dodge, you create a lot of back and forth, guys. A lot of brakes, a lot of minor fender benders that will ultimately contribute to the mass amount of traffic. How long have we been going here? 14 minutes, and we have been maybe a mile, maybe two, maybe. Not much space here, but this is, look at it's 10:14 in the morning, and we're eastbound I-4. If you're just joining us this morning, we're getting ready to cross the county line here between Polk County and Osceola County as you come up eastbound on the lanes towards Champions Gate. You can already see they're getting ready to begin to install that secondary, the fourth lane there in the left travel lane. They're not going to go right with it. Speed limit through this area is 65. We are currently doing 0 as we sit here and wait. There's no crashes reported. This is just thickness of traffic. Thick, thick, thick. If I was able to, I should have prepped for this. I could have pulled it up on the map and shown you exactly how red this area is. But I will show you this. Look at, you can't see him. This guy all up on his phone over there in his industrial truck. Makes no sense to me. Like, especially when your name or your company's on your vehicle. Like, I guarantee you none of y'all are going to catch me cutting up in this thing. Ever. You guys will call in a heartbeat. Well, Steve did this and Steve did that. Not going to get me. The guy looked like he was sleeping. So, would this be considered active construction zone? Absolutely. This is all day, all the time. The fact that there are cones in the roadway and there are lanes closed make this an active construction zone. So under Florida law, no phone zone, I call it, meaning you cannot even touch your phone. It is the only hands-free portion anywhere under Florida law that is covered. An active construction zone or an active school zone. If this camera was working, I could show you this clown over here in the Nissan Altima. That's just, she all up in her Instagram this morning. The fact that I could see that is what's ridiculous, guys. What's ridiculous. 2 clowns already. We got 2 clowns this morning. But right now, for example, I'm 27 miles from the city of Orlando. I'm 22 miles still from the Florida Turnpike. And I'm 2 miles from the area of portion we want to exit, which is Champions Gate. This is crazy, guys. 15 minutes, 16 minutes we've been going, and I've gone 2 miles. 2. Makes no sense. When in theory, there's nothing slowing us down. It's the amount of drivers, and then, of course, construction, and then reaction of drivers. Everyone's reaction causes a reaction, blah, blah, blah. Everyone's action causes a reaction. You understand what I'm saying? So then you mix this with all the commuters. Moof! All these trucks out here makes for an interesting drive. So this is a good thing to talk about since we're sitting here and I'm thinking about random things. See the space that the semi-truck drivers are leaving themselves? You got a car hauler in one and you have a large flatbed on another. That space is not for you. It's not for you as the everyday commuter to just dive in and out of. What do I mean by that? That's not an area that's like, oh, that's space. No. When you dive into that, you're causing that semi-truck driver to slam their brakes, and then behind there's a reaction. I can promise you, most of them, 99% of them, are better drivers than any of us on the road because of how often they drive and what they have to encounter and control. And they're testing. So keep in mind, they're keeping that space so that they can react to whatever is occurring in front of them. All right, so it looks like traffic's starting to flow a little bit better here as you get a little closer to Champions Gate. Why? Because there is an extra travel lane that does present itself once you get a little bit closer to State Road 429. So, what did we cover while we were out here? We covered that, man, if you're not keeping a safe distance, crashes can happen out here left and right. We're going to get over to the center travel lane. We also covered that because of the amount of construction out here, amount of vehicles out here, that the construction is definitely needed. So what did DOT recently announce and approve? We're getting an extra travel lane, both east and westbound. Also, the express lanes are coming down this way, which will be an amazing thing. For now, drivers need to increase the following distance, please. That's how none of these drivers have gotten to a crash at this point, because enough distance so that you can react to whatever is occurring in front of you. Don't be a lane dodger. Don't be jumping in and out of these lanes just because there's a space there for you. I guarantee you're going to see that car a few moments later in the exact same spot. This is every day, guys. Every day. So if you travel through this area, my heart is with you. Truly, this is a mess. This is not fun, but to choose not to be stressed out is the only way to get through it. I mean that. I know it sounds holistic and sounds a little far-fetched, but the only way you don't get stressed out about this is making a choice not to get stressed by this. So, yeah, I think we're going to wrap this here as I give you a nice shot here of about 3-mile-an-hour traffic on I-4 on a holiday at 10:20 in the morning. Absolutely insane. Again, this is eastbound I-4 from 27 as we make our way towards Champions Gate here. Champions Gate, we're probably less than a quarter mile from Champions Gate where we're going to exit and get some gas. So you guys have a good day. Plan ahead, obviously. Extra, 25 minutes. So you're going to want to plan an extra 25 minutes anytime you have to travel east or westbound through this area. So that's the rule of thumb for Champions Gate, I-4, 27, 25 minutes, no matter what, if you're trying not to get stressed out. So you guys take it easy, and I will see you guys bright and early in the morning. Love you guys. Be safe.